Good morning, everybody. It's Michelle with Needlepoint Junction. How is everybody doing this morning? So what I'm going to take you through is the tutorial of how to do the ribbon work on the Magnolia. Okay, so I've taken a piece of a ribbon, all right, and it's a wire ribbon. So it's easy to meld and fold. So what you can do is, and don't be afraid to play with it in your hands a little bit. So what you can do is play with it in your hands for a little bit. Get the feel of it. If you look and see what I'm doing, you're going to get the feel of it, right? And then you're going to wrap it around. Just keep playing with it, right? And then you can create as many petals as you want. You can even do it in sections. So right now, this is what I have. It looks like a little bit of a mess. And I'm going to move over to the USB camera and I'm going to go from there. So hold on just a second. Okay, so this is my Magnolia. All right, and you see all the leaves that are in there. Is the light on? Hold on. All right, you see all the leaves that are in there. Okay, and as you can see, what I'm going to do is I have this piece here, and this is your end piece. All right, you're going to lay it down. You can scrunch it up a little bit. All right, and then you're going to continue just holding it, just holding it. You're going to continue around the piece. Now, I will tell you that if you have, whoops, there goes that piece. We didn't want that to go. If you have a needle ready to go, that's probably going to work out in your favor. Okay. So right now, this is what I have. Okay. I still want a little bit more, and I can do one of two things. One, I can go ahead and tack this down and then do another layer, which is what I think I'm actually going to do. All right. So I'm going to start on the bottom with my needle, and I'm just going to tack it down. If I can get there. Hold on. All right. I'm holding on to it. I happen to be left-handed too, which doesn't help the situation. So I'll go in with my right hand. And I just want to tack it down. Okay. There's going to be beads that go over this, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so right now, that's where I am. I have one in. All right, one's not going to be enough to hold it. So I'm going to put another one in. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, now that I've done that, I am going to go back and I am going to put that in over there. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to fold a little bit more ribbon so I get a look that I want. Remember, the petals in a flower are uneven. So when you're doing the petals in the flower, you want to make sure that you have an uneven number, whether it's 5, 7, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3. I want one more, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll it underneath. Okay. And I might go a little bit smaller in there, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to put in another stitch. I'm going to try to put in another stitch. It's not working out the way that I want it to work this morning. Okay, hold on. We'll get there. Not wanting to go through, so you're going to have to lift the ribbon just a little bit to make it all go through. Maybe. And all you're doing is tacking it. That's literally all you're going to do. Yeah. Whoops. And once this is complete and you've tacked it all down, you're going to go get you're going to pull out your beads. And it took a long time to find beads that I actually liked for this. So I'm going to send them out this week to those that need them. And if you're local, please come in and I will help you go through this. It's really not as difficult as it seems. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut this one. These are not the scissors that you want to use, but I'm just for purposes of this, I'm going to cut this one and I'm going to bring it underneath. All right, so you don't see it. Some people will ask, why didn't you stitch the bottom? You don't necessarily have to stitch the bottom, but you're welcome to stitch the bottom if you want to. All right, you may want to use a sharper needle than what I have, and I'm using a 22 right now, and it's giving me a really hard time. So I think what I'll do is when I send these out to you, I'll give you like, oh, there it goes. It went in. It doesn't want to hit the wire is what it doesn't want to do. Is hold on just a second. Let me pull this. There you go. And you can continue to play with it any way you want to play with it. And that will happen. You can absolutely stitch underneath it if you want to. I just didn't do it for this exercise, but what will happen is that your cluster of beads will go right in the middle. Let me do one more tack. And it is a tiny, tiny tack. You don't need to tack everything because you want them to look like they're moving, right? So So that's the base of my flower. I'll play with it later to get the feel and the movement that I want. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to go back to the other screen for a second. I'm going to take my beading thread. And for these beads, all we're going to do, so the beads are all different sizes. And for these beads, all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cluster. Okay. So, and I believe they call it messy beading. So this is my beading thread. You can probably even use the floss for this one. You're going to bead your needle and I'm going to hope that this one works. If not, I'll run and get another one because for this purpose, I used a size 8 as opposed to using a size 11. And if you have, you can always put some sort of embellishment on there. If you find a button or something that you really like, go for it. I mean, that's really, seriously, that would be really, really pretty if you can find a button that has the clusters in it that you like. And I'm just going to pull some of my beads. I don't care how many, because I can go back and do more. And I am just going to, so in this grouping, so I pulled like yeah, I need to get a smaller needle. So I'm going to pause you for a moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. I had to get a different needle. So I put my needle in, okay, and now I'm going to fill it with my beads. Okay, so I've got 2 different color beads that I'm doing on this particular one. You'll have several different colors in your packets, golds and bronzes and things like that. It took me a long time to find what I wanted. So, and right now I've got 4 on there and I'll put a couple of more on there because it really doesn't matter because this is called messy beading. Okay. All right. So I put them down and all I'm going to do is take that and I'm going to put it in and I'm just going to continue to do that for the center. Okay. So let me show you how I did this because obviously I didn't have you on the right screen. So just the way my day is going, I guess. All right. So there is the first grouping of beading. All right. So once again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put some beads on. 5 gives you a good number because you can move it around if you need to move it around, and adding more as you go. Let me see if we get one more in this. Oh, shoot. And I just spilled them all. Of course I did, because I did. All right. And just put it back down in. Remember, these ribbons are wired. So, and then you're just going to continue to fill your space. And you're going to fill over those little pieces, those little, the ones where the areas where you actually went in and just masked it, put them down so you have the space. And one more time. And if you're like me, you're going to drop 20 of them while you have 4 of them. Okay. Do it one more time. And you can go over your beads. Let me see, one more. One more. And just like that. Okay, and you can continue to fill that cluster as much as you want to fill. And then once you're done, you can play with the ribbon. You may want to tack the ribbon down just a little bit right here. I did not yet, but I may go ahead and do that. So, but you may want to tack it down just like that. And then afterwards, what you can do is play with your ribbon to get the look that you're looking for. And I probably would stitch just a little bit around, but there you go. There's your flower. And I'm going to do more clusters in there. But there is your magnolia. So when you're finished, hold on just a second. I didn't mean to do that. I'm obviously having a lot of technical difficulties today. When you're finished, this is what it will look like. Okay, and like I said, you can go in and you can puff these up, and I would probably tack down just a little bit of it in there. And that's your flower. There you go. Thanks so much. And I will show this again if I need to. Thanks so much.